associated with all of this. And we can actually look at that here. I'm going to bring up some of the current wind chills that we're...
Stop playing me. Nothing off of the bar. Yeah, I like this my little stitch wig. You know the motherfucking vibes. So today is Wednesday, November 17th. We are 2 weeks out from the end of the semester. And I am trying to finish out strong, but baby, these brain cells is burning. It's like you're trying to study for finals while still ingesting new materials all the way up to the end of the semester. So I need to try and get my final study schedule together. I was able to get my hair done today to try and do some self-care. This morning is turning around for the better because it started off really, really bad. Like on my way to my hair appointment, I was in like a road rage altercation. And it didn't even have to be all that. I'm just really annoyed at the audacity of people to think that they own the world and you have to abide by the way they drive and what they want to do. Like, let me see if I can describe it. So, like, I'm at the intersection of Haddonfield-Berlin Road and White Horse Road. And I don't know if you're from this area, but, like, that's a major intersection. So I'm on White Horse Road trying to make a left onto Haddonfield-Berlin Road. And the green arrow had already stopped and all the other cars went. So I have to yield to the oncoming traffic, okay? Driver's ed 101. So I'm waiting, and there's this Jeep taking mad long. I'm like, okay, but he doesn't have a turn signal on, so I'm not going to turn in front of it and get in an accident so that the guy behind me can make it, because that's who the issue was, the guy behind me. So the Jeep is coming, no turn signal. He starts to make his right-handed turn, and the guy behind me starts beeping mad hard, and I'm like, what is wrong with him? So I turn, and up ahead is 2 lanes. So there's a bus and a truck that's about to make a left. So he tries to speed around me and almost runs into the back of the truck. He swerves back behind me, and he's trying to pass me and the truck and the bus that's blocking his way in the left lane. So I'm still going behind this Jeep that turned mad slow. He pulls up on the side of me. He has his middle finger up. So, like, now we're doing this to each other. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. Like, first off, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Grown-ass man. He rolled his window down. And I'm like, okay. Are you about to let some shots off? Like, what is this? And he's like, he's saying stuff, but my music's loud. I'm like, I can't hear you. And I'm drinking my coffee. I'm like, and so we get up to the light. I'm behind the Jeep. And he has car lengths in front of him. All this space that he pulls up next to me with his window down. He's saying stuff, and I look over at him. What I honed in on was the bottom row of his teeth that was brown. I said, I don't have time to be arguing with you. Absolutely not. So the light turns green and he goes back to bobbing and weaving between cars. I'm like, I hope he gets to where he has to go. But I was so irritated with myself for even engaging in that because it didn't even have to be like that. And that's how people die. Something so small like that could end up ending your life because somebody has anger management problems. Like, there was no reason for him to be angry that I wasn't turning in front of a Jeep because he probably couldn't even see the Jeep. He just had somewhere he needed to go. So, like, I was really upset with myself for even put my middle finger up at him because it's like it didn't even warrant that. I should just let him go, see what he had to say outside of his window, and just keep on driving. So I'm glad that, the Lord let me live to see another day, but I just, people like that, you gotta ignore them. But anyway, my only class of the day is torts, so I need to finish the reading for that, and then I'm probably going to head to campus to do some studying with Emily before class starts, since I don't have the MSP study session today at 1. I don't have much left to read. I was really trying to, like, relax and find some downtime, because that's hard to do nowadays with this school schedule. It's like we're almost at the finish line, but oh my God, it just seems like it's so far away, even though it's right there. So we'll see. What is it? No, it's right. Oh my God, it's
Question mark. Okay.
Charlene, why you act like an old lady?
I'm not trying to die. I'm trying to take this exam. Die? Nah. Good point. Wait, do you guys want salsa or tortilla chips?
Okay, I just ate like all that food.
How about Doritos? Super party.
Bring whatever down you got, and then
Okay.
we'll just
I just need to
look.
not die. This house was made for giants.
Yeah.
So today is Tuesday, November 30th. We're almost at the finish line. We have one last Civ Pro class today, and then torts class tomorrow, and that's the end of classes. So it's officially final season, and the kids are burnt out. So this morning, my study group and I are going over our Civ Pro mock midterm. Those of us that handed it in and got the grading rubric, we're going to go over the things that we missed and other things that we picked up that maybe somebody else didn't. Because our first final is torts, and then Civ Pro is right after that. So we kind of have to study them simultaneously. I will say that I find these practice tests helpful because before I did it, my mind was literally swirling around like, how am I supposed to take a final? I had no idea what the format would be like. And so taking practice exams helps you to see how the teacher or the professor wants you to model your answer. Because when they said write a legal memo, I'm writing it as if I'm writing a legal memo for legal research and writing. Like, there's no need for questions presented and short answers and stuff like that. So I was like out of it. But I did hit most of the points. I missed 4K1A because I didn't know how to implement it for personal jurisdiction. But I think this review is going to be really, really helpful and help me kind of gauge where I'm at to start my studies. Well, to continue my studies. Class is virtual today, but I'm still going to go to campus I'm going to get a study room in the library to go to class because we still have contracts, and on Tuesdays it's a shorter break between the classes. So if I wait until Civ Pro is done, I'm going to be late to contract class, and he's like very strict with attendance. Like, if you're on time, getting there at 1:05, you're late. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. So after this review, I'm going to head over to campus and meet up with, I think Charlene's going to be there too, and just take the class from campus. But I'm glad that she made the class virtual, and she canceled class on Monday because she was sick. Sorry that she's not feeling well, but I am glad that I didn't have to be in class because it helped me to get more studying time. So, yeah. So today is December 2nd. It's the first full day of studying because yesterday was the last day of classes. So I just got my coffee and I'm going to head to the library to see if I can get some studying done there, because studying in my house gets kind of boring and it gets kind of old. And if it's crowded there or if it's not quiet enough, I'll just come home and try another location. Like, my old boss has told me maybe I should try a bookstore. But I don't know, I just feel like bookstores aren't that quiet because people are in there talking in like the coffee shops in there. But we'll see. I'm going to keep my options open. Hopefully today is a successful study day. Yeah. And also, it's not that cold outside. I just am extra. As usual. I don't know why I have this big old coat on, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So it's 12:30. I'm taking a break from studying because I'm starting to get really tired and it's not absorbing as well as it was this morning. So I'm going to take an hour or two break. I decided to come pick up my online order at Kohl's because I ordered some shoes for Cyber Monday, and then I'm going to try and get something to eat and maybe do a quick workout and just watch a TV show and then go back to the library to study, because I didn't know it, but they redid it and I really like the setup, and there was barely anybody in there. I said, oh, I don't know why I didn't think to do that during the school year, because that's where I studied for the LSAT and I found it to be very productive. So I kind of like cheated myself out of a better study location, but yeah, so hopefully I can pick this up again around 2:30, 3 o'clock and finish up my day. Okay, so today is round 2 in the fight to the finish line. Hopefully I don't lose this fight between myself and my brain cells, but I am so tired. Like, I think it's because yesterday afternoon I had a Red Bull because I couldn't find my kickstarts, like the Mountain Dew kickstarts I like to drink, because Amazon has them on back order. So okay, I'll go to the store and find an energy drink, and all they had was Red Bull, and I don't like Red Bulls. I took that thing, I want to say at 3:30. I didn't get to bed till 2 a.m. Crazy. And my brain would not shut off, so I was listening to recordings of classes for torts class to go to sleep, and I actually picked up on something that I was missing. Oh, hold on, I gotta pick up my coffee order. Hold on. What was I saying? Oh, yes. I picked up on something that I was missing because during the semester, after we went over battery, we went over assault. But the day that we went over assault and false imprisonment was the day that I found out my aunt had passed, and I could not make it to class because I was an emotional wreck, as you can imagine. And so the first time, oh, where's my trash can? Anyway, the first time I listened to the recording, it was all I heard was chairs squeaking. And I got really upset because I'm just like, why have a class recording if all you can hear is the chairs squeaking back and forth? But Emily was so nice to send me her notes, and I was reviewing hers, and I was confused. But listening to it at night, I had to hear past the chair squeaks, and I could finally hear what he was saying. So now I know the difference between assault and battery, because sometimes courts get them mixed up and use them interchangeably, and they're not the same. And false imprisonment. So. Okay, so it's 4:55. I'm about to start my review session with my study group to go over a past torts exam and see, we're gonna do like a, what is it called? A fact issue finder. Okay, I'm really calling it the wrong thing. I just woke up. I only got to take like a 20-minute nap. So I'm going to either get some coffee or an energy drink to try and finish my studies for the evening. But we're about to go over a previous exam for issue spotting to see which facts we can each pick up and some that others may have picked up on that we missed. Because we're supposed to be doing a timed practice exam tomorrow and reviewing that Sunday together. So this is like the pregame. I am so tired. I got a Red Bull again because, I didn't learn my lesson the first time. And we'll see how this plays out because it's now 5 p.m., which means I'm probably going to be awake till 4 a.m. I'm going to have to get up and take the test. This is just self-sabotage at this point. I don't really know anything just to stop me from studying, I guess. I do it to myself.
So purpose or knowledge to substantial certainty. So she could say that the intent was a factor because he knew with substantial certainty that possessing a firearm and shooting it, regardless of whether it was self-defense or not, would inflict harm on those around or those on the bus.
I thought purpose or intent was for battery, not assault.
I have it for both, but I could be fucked up.
Okay, so I just finished my first final. I had to put a filter on because honestly, I look like what I've been through. A mess. But I'm relieved that it's over. That whole thing was 5 hours. Like, that is just so. Law school tests just take so long, and ours was double the time of the other class. But you know what? I tried my hardest, and it's done, and now it's in God's hands, child, because I can't deal with it no more. I can't. I'm going to go find something to eat. I'm going to lay down on the couch, and then tomorrow it's time to tackle Civ Pro so that I'm not feeling overwhelmed at the last minute like I was for torts, because torts was brutal. Wow.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
It just better be this serious, Priscilla. This is so overdramatic. Come on now. Now watch her be awake in an hour. Watch. Okay, so today is Saturday, December 11th, and we're 2 days out from the Civ Pro final, which is Monday, and I'm really feeling the pressure. I had to switch my study strategy because I can't study the same way I did for torts because the concepts are different, and Civ Pro is more map based. Like if you're thinking of subject matter jurisdiction, you're going to follow the map to figure out if the court has subject matter jurisdiction or not. Whereas in torts, like in negligence, you're going to see if all the elements are satisfied. So the study strategy is different. I thought I had a better handle on Civ Pro because my professor, I keep saying that, my professor is excellent. She basically had us preparing our maps throughout the whole semester, so all we had to do was review them. I don't know, but I guess the way I drafted my maps, I don't like the way they look, and I'm not grasping the concepts as well. Like, I'm looking at my maps, and I look like I wrote these things in hieroglyphics. Like, what is that? I don't know what I'm looking at. So yesterday I stayed up until like 2 a.m. trying to learn supplemental jurisdiction because that was like really psyching me out. And I have a better handle on that. So tonight's task is Erie and venue. And then I feel like I'll be able to breathe because the Civ Pro final is 6 hours long. And that in itself is weighing on me. But I know I'll need the 6 hours or at least 5 to do a thorough analysis. And I tried to take a practice test today, but I'm not feeling well. Like mentally and physically, I feel weak. I think it's starting to take a toll on my body, not getting enough sleep, and that it's going to be an issue. So I need to go to bed. I don't want to say early, but like on time tonight and wake up at a decent hour tomorrow and not try to do another all-nighter. I didn't do an all-nighter, but not stay up until 2 a.m. My study group and I are doing a review of the practice exam at 5. So we were all supposed to take the practice exam. I didn't finish mine. Like I started doing an outline after a while because I could just tell I wasn't giving it my all. And instead of wasting time, I decided to outline. So I still have something. And it really helps to kind of review practice exams with other people, because I know I said this before, but they may pick out something that you missed, and it'll help you if you see that on an actual exam. You can say, oh, Train got this, and this is on the actual exam. So now that I spoke to her, I can grasp this concept and see how, if they got to the answer quicker than you, if the verbiage they use make more sense. So it's really helpful. And I also like the feeling that I'm not alone. Prior to final exams, I used to study a lot on my own because in undergrad, I didn't do well with group study. And I had to remind myself that this is not undergrad. I have to relearn myself as a student all over again. And in speaking with my old bosses who have all graduated from law school, they all went to different law schools and they came out successful, they gave me advice to study in a group to see if people pick out different concepts than you, to study in a different area than you normally would. Because like I used to study in my house where I live alone, but I'm distracted like, oh, I can make some cookies right now. Or, oh, maybe if I watch 15 minutes of SVU, which turns into 40 minutes because I'm watching the whole episode. Or just getting up, walking around. Whereas if I go to a library, I'm more confined and determined to do my work. Inclined to do my work. And I found that to be very helpful. Tess even recommended that I write out my outline first and then copy it, which has helped me tremendously because I know people say this all the time, but like handwriting helps you to memorize and actually learn things. Whereas me typing, I'm so used to just typing blindly about what I'm hearing because that's what I used to do at my job, that my first 2 months of notes, it wasn't 2 months, but like my first 2 weeks of notes are me typing a transcript of what the professor is saying. So I go back and look at it and I'm like, Candace. So yeah, I had to make quite the adjustment, which is probably what I'll talk about later on. But right now I need to get ready for this study session and pray for the best. I'm almost at the finish line and I'm trying to finish out strong. But it's very hard not to get burnt out because law school is not a race, it's a marathon. What do they call it? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, so if I start off real fast in that 6 hours, I don't think I'm gonna make it through. I gotta pace myself. So hopefully this is a good review session and then I can hit the ground running on my studies for the next 4 hours and see where that goes.